Mine's pretty basic. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The final movie of the trilogy for Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
You saw this one in theaters?
Pretty sure, yeah. Pretty sure I did.
What was your initial thoughts before watching it? You're pretty high on the series, huh?
I was pretty high in the series for sure. Initially, I remember liking all of the movies, and for some reason, I liked the first one the least. So I liked 2 and 3 more than I did liked Rise.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my initial impression of it.
And now? You think that's changed a little bit?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. This is the first time I ever watched this movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
This time, it's actually really the first time I've ever
This
watched.
time for
yeah,
real.
this time for real. I've never seen this movie.
It felt like you watched the other movies before.
No, I in the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes podcast, I think I actually told the story in that one too, where
You did.
I actually watched that movie before.
Right.
I just don't remember.
You just forgot. Yeah.
But
That's funny.
I was kind of, I don't know. I feel like the steam was killed on this one. Like I wasn't really too high or too low on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like I was just like, this is the third movie. It's the last movie. We'll see how it goes. Type of mood.
Okay. I was looking forward to seeing this one. I was really hoping that this would do more than what the second one did for me.
Yeah.
I feel like it did.
Let me go ahead and get into the details. I love doing that. It's
What?
Just leaving it on a cliffhanger like that.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's directed by Matt Reeves. The tagline for it is "For freedom, for family, for the planet." I don't really like the tagline because that's not what happened in the movie.
Right. It's
Yep.
not even
Remotely close to what happened.
close to what their goals are.
Yeah.
The budget is estimated at $150 million. Its release date was July 14th, 2017.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. A runtime of 2 hours and 20 minutes. Rated PG-13. Box office worldwide of just under $491 million. So it did really well for itself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We watched it on Vudu.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it's streaming anywhere else though.
I don't know. Probably
Probably some.
HBO Max or
Yeah.
something. Don't quote me on that.
Let's go ahead and get into our
Paramount+.
so
Peacock.
that's it. It's a 6-word summary of the movie. Go ahead, Albert.
I felt like it really, this one, at least more than the second one, really hit me where I felt more about the apes and Caesar's feelings for them more than the others, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got reaching goals by making tough compromises. And he had to, in this movie, Caesar really had to face what he didn't like, what he thought apes were turning out to be.
Yeah.
I felt like he had to make some changes and how he felt about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they do a good job of showing that too with his dynamic between the Colonel.
Right.
They're both very similar. One had to sacrifice his son for
The cause.
the cause, and so
Yeah, and Caesar had to face his ghosts.
basically, yeah.
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 Koba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jesse.
All right. Mine spells monkey, but without a Y. It's an I.
So it's
Monkey.
a monkey.
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 Hey.
A monkey.
Alrighty. So it goes. Movie omits noteworthy key emotional imagery. I don't know.
You think it
just-
omits it?
I think I had less. It had less of an impact for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it because you've seen it before, or you feel like you have, with context of the two movies recently, this one doesn't do it as good of a job?
I think it's a combination of things. I think that it's just less memorable for me, and there's just weird decisions that are made in this movie that kind of don't make sense. And if I remember them, I'll bring them up.
Okay.
Also, this week was just really crazy. There was a big event in the family, so it's just I didn't really have time to focus on this movie.
Oh, okay.
So it maybe if I had a free week and a free mind, it'd be a little bit different.
yeah,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, my salad sip is uncertainty of direction leads to downfall. This movie doesn't really do it for me either.
Oh man.
I think it's better than the second one,
Yeah.
but I think it should have been a middle movie.
Like this should have been number 2?
Yeah. Like, I really don't like the second movie at
No?
all.
Okay.
I feel like it could have definitely been left out, or parts of it could have been included in this movie itself, but I just feel like for this movie they were trying so hard to like close in like the filler between what happens in this series and how they got to the original movies, the original Planet of the Apes movies,
Right.
that they just kind of like throw a lot of stuff in there that they don't even really talk too much about, or there's just no reasoning for it.
Right.
And it's some of that stuff like the silencing disease is like a really big part of the movie, but they don't focus on it too much.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I never thought about this trilogy leading up to the earlier movies. I never thought about that.
I didn't until I read some trivia,
Yeah.
and there were hints that the director gave that showed that he was trying to lead up to that movie. The silencing disease is one of those like little tidbits. Another one that I read is like bad ape wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Is starting that progression to those apes that actually were wearing clothes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
obviously where they end is very similar to where the Planet of the Apes is. So
Right.
in the original movies, because
Like-
they're by a lake and
Surrounded by mountains.
and desert and
Hmm.
so
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And just because of that, I just feel like it just wasn't that great.
I mean, for me as a standalone, not knowing anything about the original stuff, I felt like it was a good conclusion. I wasn't looking for more about the silencing disease. I was happy with what they gave us.
Yeah.
I think they should have given us more because it's called the War of the Planet of the Apes, and the apes don't fight the war.
Yeah.
It's a war between humans, and we
Right.
only see one side. And yeah, like he's by far the worst antagonist in the entire series, in my opinion.
Woody Harrelson?
Yeah, not him as an actor. Like I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he was a bad actor. I just think him and
His character.
his character and his group just
His goals it felt really muddled.
Yeah.
What's the point of what they were trying to do versus even the other humans and what they wanted to do?
yeah, like no one knows. They
Right.
just
I mean, they
fighting.
explained why they didn't like each other, but that's kind of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Keep building that wall,
You keep building that wall,
monkey. Yeah, I don't know.
Donkey.
Donkey. Donkey. Have
Kong.
Mike Myers in the background as a character.
Let's go. Let's go ahead and rate this movie out of 10 donkeys.
10 donkeys.
10 donkeys. What would you guys give this movie?
I really liked it when I was watching it. I'm
Okay.
giving it like an 8.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember what I rated the other two, but I like it more than the second one. I feel.
Okay. I'm going to give this, I don't know. I'm kind of near a 5 or a 6 right now.
That's where I'm sitting at.
Yeah.
I think because I forgot what I gave the other one, the second one.
Yeah.
I feel like I would bump the second one down to a 5 if I didn't
Yeah.
already have it at a
And
5.
put this on a 6.
Yeah.
Second one's still my favorite one. I don't know why. I like the dynamic of Koba and Caesar a lot. I like that struggle versus not so much the human struggle.
Yeah, that is the best part of that second movie is the
Yeah.
internal antagonist
Yeah.
in the in group
Yeah.
trying to figure that out.
But I don't know. This movie is just very forgetful. But I might have to watch it again
Mm-hmm.
on a better week.
I think it's very forgetful too.
Yeah.
And
Because I don't remember anything about this movie until I rewatched it. And I was like, I remember parts of this, but I don't remember a lot of it. But it's also been what 17? It's been like 6 years.
Yeah.
It's been a little while. Forget things in 6 years.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I hope your memory's not perfect.
If it was, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the characters.
Okay.
I didn't put a lot of them. You have Andy Serkis playing Caesar, Karen Knovel playing Maurice, Terry Notary playing Rocket, Michael Adam the Waith. I don't know if that's how you say it. Playing Luca. Luca's the gorilla that's with the group.
Yeah. The bodyguard gorilla.
Yeah, the bad guys, you have Woody Harrelson as the Colonel, Ty Olsson as the Red Donkey.
The red donkey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had red fur.
Okay.
And he's basically the only donkey that they show this movie for some reason.
And for people that didn't watch the movie yet, the donkeys are basically any apes that worked with humans.
Yeah.
And it's a derogatory term because they're like calling him Donkey Kong, you know?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I thought it was just like a donkey, like a mule. Like,
No, like Donkey Kong.
oh.
Yep.
Gabriel Chavaria is playing Preacher. He's the guy that ends up shooting with the crossbow.
That Caesar saves, but also hurts Caesar later on.
He's basically the right-hand man for Woody Harrelson all the time.
I
Whenever
forgot
he needs
him.
a crossbow shot, he gives it to that guy.
Okay.
And he's the one that ends up shooting Caesar in the side
I forgot.
and then gets blown up by the red donkey. And then some other characters you have is Steve Zahn playing Bad Ape, Amaya Miller playing Nova, who's the mute girl that they run into, and Alexis Paunovic playing Winter, who is albino gorilla.
Yep.
So, I mean, you have some other characters in there, but I didn't feel like anybody else was that important. So,
Yeah.
well, let's go ahead and get into the movie.
I my favorite part was seeing more interactions between humans and apes. I think I liked this one more than the second one because you end up having more apes on the human side versus where in the second movie you kind of have some apes kind of deciding to want to work with Koba and then maybe the humans, and
Yeah.
for this movie it felt more fleshed out of an idea
Yeah.
that apes might have more reason to work with the humans than with Caesar. I just like that dynamic of
Yeah, I understand that.
having a double agent or gorillas deciding to work with apes or working with humans because it's just I just like that.
There's less.
Idea.
Yeah, they decided with the stronger side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they feel like they're more stronger than Caesar right now.
Yeah.
And they're all about strength.
Yeah, I guess that was one of the consequences of the second movie is
Yep.
that you're second in command, or maybe Koba's not second in command, but one of your closest friends doesn't trust you, and your empire starts to splinter apart. So
Mm-hmm.
at that point, you're half as strong. So humans are stronger. Go to the humans. They're gonna hopefully spare me, and
Ape strong together.
yeah, but not together. Humans stronger, I guess. Unless it's 1-on-1. I'm not fighting a monkey.
No.
No. I like my arms in their sockets.
Your eyes in its sockets.
No, my arms.
And your eyes.
Yeah, and my eyes. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Like that is something. When you get the first scene with the war and the humans are sneaking up, or the battle, and the humans are sneaking up,
Yep.
and the gorilla like comes behind them, and I'm just like, is he gonna like hurt him? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
And then it's just like he starts helping him out and
He's
stuff.
carrying ammo and
yeah,
stuff.
and then I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I got to fill this in. There's some gorillas and apes on the human side.
Yep.
So that's interesting. So we got to figure out why that is, and is it because something in the last movie, or am I just gonna have to just trust the story to let me believe that.
Right.
Um,
And I feel like their explanation is good, that they mostly believed Koba's cause and what his
Yeah.
beliefs were, and Caesar was just not the leader anymore.
yeah,
But then they're trusting the humans.
Right. And they're mostly being selfish, like I think what Winter and the Red
Yeah.
Donkey's goals were, is that they're saving themselves more than they care about apes.
yeah, yeah. After that, what happens? They send back the one guy. That's the message.
There's 4 of them.
It was for
Yeah, on 2 horses.
on 2 horses. They're riding back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 4 of them, and then
They
they
take the bad donkey away, and
Right.
Winter takes him away, and then comes back bleeding because he got hit.
yeah.
He
Right.
said he escaped.
But did he really?
Now he was like, oh. They just had to make it look believable.
And then
That kind of leads into my favorite thing about the whole movie in general, of Caesar deciding to make tough choices
yeah,
for the greater good. The apes, on the other hand, siding with the humans, they're making a selfish decision.
yeah.
They're making their choice to
Based
save
on
themselves.
yeah, based on weakness or fear. Yeah,
Right. They're
But at the
making-
same time, like, Caesar doesn't make the right choice, which I
I
like.
agree.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because he makes the choice for revenge because he's still like Koba, where
Yep.
he would rather have revenge against the humans than do the right thing and just lead his people to their promised land.
That's why I'm saying tough choice. Maybe not
Mhm.
the right choice.
I guess it's a tough choice still.
Right.
You either go hunt down the guys that killed your
Wife and
wife
son.
and son, or you just take off.
Right.
Yeah,
Like he's at this point, at that point when he's making that decision, he's making a selfish one too.
yeah,
Because then not only is he taking himself out of the picture, like instead of like leading his people, he's hunting down this person. So then that leaves his people like leaderless.
Right.
yeah.
But then all his close friends are following him instead of going with the
Right.
group
Helping
as
And
well.
they're also leaders too. So he's
yeah,
he's taking a lot away from the rest of the group.
yeah. He's making the same decision that Koba made in the last movie,
basically yeah.
essentially.
Right.
And
Except
that's why Koba constantly like appears back up, because Caesar chose the humans over apes.
yeah, yeah. For some reason, I don't remember why, but I thought Koba was in this movie. I don't know why. And
mean,
he
technically
is,
he is,
he is,
yeah.
but at the end of the second movie, if you listen to the very end, you hear Koba's yell at the end of the movie, and I thought that was an indication that he was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he's alive in some sense in Caesar's heart or in his mind.
Yep. His nightmares.
But I thought for some reason Koba was like alive, actually physical in this movie, but he's not.
And I felt like, just talking about him being alive, the CGI just looked better too.
Yeah. CJ gets better every movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Let's see what else. What else?
What'd you like, John?
What did I like? I
Yeah.
mean, it's hard to really like a lot from this movie. I wish there was just more. For me, I really wish there was just more explanation for things. Just
Yeah.
because they give you the silencing disease, which I don't even think is necessary in this movie.
I mean, I
It's
felt
just-
like it was more of a side effect of the simian flu, or simian whatever
Whatever they're
it.
calling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they still, everyone had it at this point, but now another side effect is you're becoming mute and turning feral.
Yeah, I didn't understand that part.
But they're not really turning feral because Nova still has
Yeah, feral's the wrong word.
Yeah, like she still has the capacity to like learn speech in a way, not like physically talking, but she can sign.
I think it's just inconsistent. They're supposed to be more primitive, but I think it's just inconsistent for certain characters.
I mean, maybe it is supposed to be more primitive, but
Yeah.
at least the two, supporting characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not feral yet, but
yeah,
they're
maybe
mute.
it takes a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the side effects or
I feel like they just really wanted to rush and find an explanation for how the humans ended up the way they did in the originals, so that's what they did.
Probably.
But like in reality, like they really didn't need to explain it. Like it's just how evolution works. Once the humans become
They
the
get taken away.
inferior race, then
Their technology gets taken away. There's I don't know less
Their
access to
culture-
books.
their culture,
like,
their society.
they're not
We're
allowed
s-
to talk anymore.
we're so dependent on this right here, our cell phone, that we just like without it we're just dumb. This is where all the smart is at in our phones. So
I don't need to do no math. I got my phone with me.
you're never gonna have a calculator. Oh yeah, Miss. I can't say her name. We got calculators now.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Everything's basically on our phone now, so we're already
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, we don't. How many numbers do you know off the top of your head?
None.
None.
What do you mean? Phone
Cell
numbers?
Phone numbers.
Oh, plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I know the important ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Like, if I
mom,
need-
your dad.
My mom.
Okay.
Emergency.
You know my number?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
your
dang
number.
it.
You're not that important.
Dang it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know like a handful of numbers, the most important ones, but
You know
that's
mine?
about it.
Mine's pretty easy though.
I would do it after the podcast.
Yeah.
Test me after the podcast. I don't want to give out your number to all the
You
ladies
just beep
that
it
might
out right
be
now.
Just beep it out. Beep,
Censor
beep,
your
beep.
mouth.
No, some lady would like decode it, and then you would have
Code it.
you would have just a bunch of ladies texting you. So I don't want that.
no.
I also wish they wouldn't have. I like the character for Bad Ape. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's nice to know that it's not just Caesar's group, but I wish there was more explanation than just him as to how he evolved into.
I feel like to make it, I mean, maybe there could have been a group of them, but I'm comfortable with only one survivor showing up. If it's more people that if it's more apes that Caesar has to worry about, I think that would be too much distraction from things Caesar has to care about.
I think he gives an explanation
Yeah.
that they killed everyone or something like that,
Pretty much.
and he learned through watching humans. Like, I guess that's
Yeah, it's bad.
But
humans.
in reality, like if the apes are eventually taking over, like there should be more than just one survivor.
yeah.
I honestly, maybe this is the biggest problem is like I just think the plot sucks in this movie.
Yeah, it's not the best. No.
It's like it's so bad because first of all you're calling it War of the Planet of the Apes.
It's
The
not.
apes aren't even the ones in the war.
Yeah.
They're not fighting for their planet. They're just
Yeah.
fighting for.
So just to be
They're
left
not even
alone.
fighting really.
They're just
They're
trying to be
sneaking.
left alone. Yeah.
Sneak for the Planet of the Apes.
It could be a different title.
And second, like
Hidden fortress of the.
it's just
Planet of
more.
the
It's
Apes.
there's a big fight at the end where the humans are fighting, but we don't even know what humans they're fighting. We don't know why, other than the colonel tells us they don't like him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
He's too crazy to
like you get no progression into where we're at in the apes evolution, the humans evolution, where society at is in general. Like you get no progression of that in this movie.
I feel
I
like
think-
Maybe this is worse than the second movie to me. Now that I think
feel
about
like
it
the
now.
second one you get a little bit more progression.
You get a
than-
little bit more progression. You kind of understand like they're fighting for survival. Like they don't have electricity anymore.
Right.
They have to like get to the dam to fix it, and then there's like the conflict with the apes because the apes it's their territory. And this one you get none of that. You just know that the apes are trying to leave because they're tired of humans coming into their
area.
borders.
Yeah.
But where's society? Where's the human society at this point? And I really don't care about the humans in this movie in general. But like we still should see if you're trying to relate these movies to the originals, you should see some sort of progression.
Yeah.
And there's just none of that.
I feel like that's the weakest part of this movie is if you're expecting more into the older movies, that's where you lose out. If you're expecting the perspective of other groups, you
Yeah.
lose out. I
Yeah.
think the main limitation is it's so focused on Caesar and his
His
apes.
revenge story, yeah.
And his revenge story.
Yeah.
I don't care about his revenge story.
Like, would you
Revenge of the Planet of the Apes, like Revenge of the Sith. Where's Anakin at?
Would you be happy with if there was a B plot with another group of apes?
I think there should be.
Yeah.
I think at this point the apes territory should be expanding. Like, we know that a big group of Caesars like split off from and join the humans. Like,
yeah.
we can get some of those instead of the
Yeah.
actual human characters. I give a damn about the Colonel.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. They basically, what is the term where they basically foreshadow that he's gonna get the disease
Right.
at
Oh,
some
yeah.
point, anyways.
Talks
And
about
then
his
when
son.
it happens, it's just like he just wants to die. Like,
Yeah.
bro, he's so stupid.
He's so objective and pragmatic. That's
Yeah.
why he wants to kill himself, basically.
Yeah.
You're just leaving your people. And of course it's going to happen during the final fight, because why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it happen that morning?
I mean, that's a story. It's a movie.
That's why it
I'm
sucks.
I'm not that, like, I didn't care that much that's when they
The
decided to have it
disease
happen.
is, I'm assuming the disease is passed from human to human, infected human to human, not
Right.
ape to human.
Right.
But I don't
At
know. It
this
doesn't
point.
really. Yeah, at this point, it
Maybe
is.
earlier it
That
could have been
different.
ape to human.
The first
and
virus.
secondly,
was, yeah.
like I was so looking for, because we talk about how the apes join the donkeys join the humans.
Yeah.
Like I was so expecting the whole time for Preacher, the right hand man of the Colonel, just to like
flip over to the
flip
apes.
over to the ape side, because Caesar showed him that kind of like
He's
respect.
way more of a
and-
leader than
yeah. I was expecting that the whole time, and it never happened. He ends up shooting Caesar in the side, and that's the whole reason why Caesar's dead,
Yeah.
because of this selfish
human.
human bastard.
But wasn't he stopping him from throwing the grenade? So
Yes.
that's not selfish. You don't want to die, so.
I
Like,
mean,
what are you gonna do? Hey, stop! I know you're trying to save your people, but just stop it. Like, Caesar's making a last ditch
Again,
effort to like.
I get that, I understand,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like that's just because the plot's just that bad. It never gives this guy a redemption story
Yeah.
because it's just that bad.
Yeah.
The first movie is by far the best movie, and I just wonder how things would have turned out if it was just that director
That director.
the whole way
I
through.
forgot what he has done since, or like before that, and since then. We gotta look it up a little bit
I'm
later.
looking it up while you guys keep talking.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think I mostly agree with everything you're saying. I feel like
Nope.
I was able to look
What?
past it while experiencing the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't. It would be better if what was his name?
Which
Preacher.
one? Preacher.
Had a turn of heart.
Yeah.
Sided with the apes, but I feel like, yeah, that could have been better.
Yeah.
But I feel like, as a whole, for the story of Caesar deciding his choices, helping Nova at the end, because he does feel kind of guilty about killing her dad, but not really.
The guy with the wood.
Yeah, he was carrying firewood basically, and
Yeah.
came across three apes with guns.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, maybe I'm gonna shoot them back.
Maybe I just don't move really fast and I hide and
Yeah, try
Yeah.
to lie to them.
instead of reaching for my gun where I had to drop my firewood and shoot 3 apes before they shoot me, like that
Right.
those are not good odds. Like
Yeah.
I would have been like, wait, did he have the disease as well?
He could talk
He
at
could
that
talk?
point. At that point,
Okay, he should have been like, hey, I'm with my daughter. I don't know. We just live here by ourselves. Can you just leave us
yeah.
alone? Something I don't know. I would have done something
It's-
versus
It's. I mean, it's people being as rational as they think they need to be.
yeah,
He's not thinking
Or-
that he should communicate with them first.
or at least like I don't know, pretend to be friendly at first and then backstab him. Like at least like be
Yeah.
a little bit smarter. I don't know.
it's yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Right.
just open the wood and they're like
It's like I saw it Across the Spider-Verse for the third time again. And it's
third time.
yesterday, last night.
Okay.
And it's like that one with the web slinger where he's like 3, 2. You didn't wait for.
I haven't seen it again.
Is it worth it the third time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate how they just. You guys know the term mansplaining?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate how they do that so much in this movie.
I mean, it's all they.
Like, preacher never misses a shot. So that final scene where he shoots Caesar, he's not missing that shot.
I mean, that's exposition. Like that's
That's
It's
not
so
mansplaining.
stupid.
Yeah,
It's
That's
so
not
stupid.
That's not mansplaining.
It's so
What are you
stupid.
talking about?
I hate it. I hate it.
There are no female leads.
I know, I'm just
Who are they
kidding.
mansplaining to?
The mansplaining to all the people in the audience.
That's not mansplaining. That's just being
That's
treating the
just
audience.
exposition. We're just-
It's not even. You
They're-
don't need to throw that in. I don't care.
yeah. I know.
Just stuff like that is so annoying. Like, exposition my cheeks, man.
Well, that's what it's called.
I get it. Like, that's what it's called. That's what it's called because
It's a poor use of storytelling.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're
the
telling instead
ex-
of showing, right?
exposition is usually not a good thing. Sometimes it can be used like cleverly and better
That's
than in this
false.
situation. Yeah, there's some good.
There is some good ones.
Yeah,
That's
but
how
not
you-
here. But not here.
Exactly. That's
Not
how you
here.
know that exposition's not bad. Like, there
Yeah.
is good uses of
Yeah.
exposition.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like here, it's not good, but there is good exposition.
Yeah, but like to say exposition overall is it's not normally bad. Good
I think-
storytelling has good storytelling.
I just think that most of the movies today, at least mainstream Hollywood movies, don't have good stories.
I mean, yeah, they'd rather tell instead of show
Yeah.
because it's more expensive to show.
Yeah, they're way more expensive to show, but you get a more intriguing, interesting story that
right.
people are going to want to watch over and over again. Yeah.
If they wanted us to care about other characters, then they would have done that.
Yeah.
Who was Lake? That ape that was possibly
The future wife
future-
to
yeah,
his.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Lake is the future wife to Blue Eyes, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on,
Wh-
keep
what-
up. I knew that.
Was she introduced in the second movie? I forget.
She's in the second movie.
Okay. All right.
I don't remember her.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't remember. Her.
She's distinctly more feminine in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember her being. I don't remember a feminine ape like that being in besides the mother
right.
Yeah.
of I don't remember the
She's only shown like a few times in the second movie.
yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of more of the good. I think there was some good dialogue between the main bad guy, Woody Harrelson, and
Right.
Caesar, and there's some good like struggle a little bit between them, but I'm struggling to
I mean,
remember.
the tough part is that it's more exposition of the Colonel telling Caesar what
Yeah.
he's done instead of
yeah.
us seeing what the Colonel had to do.
Yeah. I like that. I like and I dislike that he's trying to scare all the apes into working because Caesar is this like beacon of hope for the apes.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to scare them, but if you really wanted to scare them, you would just kill him right away.
But I'm guessing he understands that he doesn't want to make Caesar a martyr.
That too, but
Like I think that's
If
very
he kills
much.
if he kills
understands
Caesar, then
they all
Like,
rebel.
they all rebel.
Yeah.
But if he keeps him alive and he like
Shows them-
shows that like, hey, Caesar's getting us food, Caesar's getting us water, like then they'll work
a little
a
work
little bit
still,
harder.
yeah.
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Colonel just wants this wall built. He doesn't care about the apes that much.
Yeah.
About enslaving
Leave
them.
him.
Right. He cares. Yeah. The Colonel cares more about the humans coming than the apes.
Yeah.
Like enslaving them later.
Yeah. The title does not match this movie.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The main
Slave of the Planet of the Apes.
Right. The main event is the humans coming to fight more humans.
Yeah.
So weak, man.
Planet of the Humans fighting
Yeah.
other
I feel like
humans.
Caesar's journey maybe was a war internally,
Yeah.
and that's maybe the closest thing that the title comes around to. But the overall plot is
I just think the
lacking
series
there.
was ruined, man. I think the more I think about this movie, the more I'm like, maybe this was lower than
I
the
think
second.
it's
I
it's
think
my
this is
least-
lower than the second
My
one.
least favorite.
That's my war inside is just trying to see if I like the third one
I'm
more.
lowering it to a 4. The other one can stay at a 5 though. Like, the more I think about it, the more it's just like, the first one was so perfect to me. They build it up to a very perfect moment where Caesar talks for the first time. Every choice he makes once he like flips that switch to like he's an ape and not a human.
Right.
Like, every choice that he makes up until then is like very there's a reasoning behind it. Like,
Yeah.
earlier today I was just looking up like why did he choose to have Rocket give the cookies to everyone else, and it's like, well, he's installing a chain of command, you know, like
Yeah.
Rocket listens to Caesar, but all the others have to listen to Rocket still, you know, like Maurice is an advisor, and you
Yeah.
know, like there's just so much into it.
He's making that society.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're making that society. Maurice teaches all the other apes to sign, and because
Yeah.
that's how Maurice learned to communicate, and it's so good. And then the second one isn't. Maybe the second one's a 6 again.
I mean, the
second one is has so good moments,
Yeah.
but what it's building up to isn't as impactful to me as the first one.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's just like, man, it's even worse. Like, it's not. What is it building up to? A war of humans that we don't even know half of the humans, and the whole thing
think
is Caesar's
that's-
getting away.
That's the tough part.
Yeah.
Is where I was saying earlier is I think the war is only inside Caesar's mind instead of with other apes or with humans.
Humans. Yeah.
I think that's the tough part of how some people might feel about this movie.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But I think I rated the first one an 8. I gave the second one a 9. But I think it's probably because the dynamic between Koba and Caesar and the humans weren't bad. They weren't.
They had a
As-
reasoning for being there. At
Yeah,
least.
I think the humans in the first one were better than the ones in the second one. But I like the dynamic between the conflicting like
Ape side.
opinions and the
Right.
politics within the ape society.
I think that's the best part.
Yeah, I think maybe overall the first one's a better movie, but the second one just has like such a good like idea going for it that I like it.
I also think the second one does a good job of keeping with what the first one does, where it's like mostly sign language for for most of the movie,
Yeah,
and if words are spoken by the apes, it's
brief, choppy,
choppy, and for a reason. Like,
yeah,
there's a
Very
reason
serious.
why Caesar is using his voice instead of.
yeah,
And in this one, it's just like he just talks the whole time mostly. There's not as much sign language unless they're communicating in the camp. Like, at this point for the third movie, I feel like they should have done a better job of like the humans are starting to use sign language more
yeah.
to communicate, and the apes are using.
More talking.
More
speech.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would have been more impactful.
And then that would have led to why humans don't talk in the original movies, because they stopped using it as much.
Yeah,
And introducing Bad Ape would be more meaningful then, because he's an ape that doesn't understand sign. So
Yeah.
they have to communicate. If there was more of him, like more like apes like that, they would
Yeah.
have to communicate with voices.
that would have
instead
been
of-
interesting.
yeah.
I should,
Man,
give me the money.
you're so,
Give me the
you're
money.
so
Give me the money.
convincing.
Let's go buy some monkey suits and let's go make our own.
We'll make our own Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
What are we gonna name the third movie?
Silence of the Planet of the
Silence of the Apes.
Silence of the
I need
Apes.
to watch
And
Silence
then
of the Lambs.
we could call it Silence of the Apes, and then people will think, were they talking about the humans or the actual apes?
Ooh, there we go.
Yo, like, just sign me up already.
There we go.
I don't
Let's
need
get you into film school.
like I won't be able to do the dialogue or anything like that, but I have the ideas. Okay,
Yeah, you're the producer.
I just need someone to write stuff.
You're the
for
idea
me.
man.
Thanks. It makes you feel good.
We got the sign language course. We'll start.
We'll start. Yeah.
Go.
It's all coming together.
I can't like. Okay, so when I first watched this movie, I watched it Sunday,
Yeah.
and I left it thinking that I really enjoyed it,
That's. Oh, I mean, I watched it last night. Maybe that's why it's so fresh for me.
and then after thinking about it for a while and talking about it, like my ratings are slowly dropping. Like they're just changing.
I think it's the same for me. I liked it up until I started talking about it with you guys.
Yeah.
I still like it, but I think objectively it's getting worse.
I think I don't think it's a very strong movie. I think there's a lot of weird things that they do in it. Like the Colonel's supposed to be like this ruthless killer that killed his son, but
Yeah.
he had opportunities to kill Caesar, and I know he's not trying to make him a martyr, but it would have made it easier. Why would you pick up the doll if there's potential of a virus getting, like, why would you take it with you to your room? Like, it didn't make any sense. If you're so scared of this virus and what it's doing to your whole
why would you
army, why would you bring an possibly infected doll? Like, you know it wasn't there. There's no the ape didn't make it right there. Like,
Because ape's dumb. Human's dumb.
I mean, they can't like. I've never seen an ape so addressed or sew a shirt together and
Onto a doll.
So and then make something more complicated like a doll. Like that's a human thing. Like I wouldn't touch that. That'd be like the kryptonite to me if I was the Colonel. Anything human made that I did not personally like sanitize or clean or take inventory of, I would burn. Like that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nah, I'd be dead way before he would.
he shouldn't have like. I don't know. He's stupid.
Yeah. I like Woody Harrelson as an actor too, so
He did a good job.
yeah.
I think he did
Of
a
his
good job.
lines.
Yeah.
I want to say like I think he did a good job
Yeah.
for what.
yeah.
I just think the movie sucked,
yeah.
which
Man.
it happens.
I think I'll drop my rating too.
Yeah.
As you should.
I think that's fair. At least for as far as an objective movie goes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this movie, this trilogy so much, and it built me up to like Batman, but Batman was pretty good. So I'm glad that I didn't revisit these movies before and have like a negative view of Batman before going in.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Batman is a pretty good
Trilogy.
well, I mean the first Batman, the only one he's done, Matt Reeves.
Oh, okay.
I still think the Batman.
Okay, I thought you were talking
is-
about Christopher Nolan.
Oh, I like that trilogy. I think that's a pretty good trilogy.
yeah.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Okay.
No,
Talk
but
about
the
Matt
Matt Reeves Batman,
Yeah.
I like that, and I'm glad I didn't go into that with a review of these movies that made me, I don't know, be more negative about it.
Right. Tainted by
Yeah.
his other movies that he's made.
Yeah, because that I think that was probably one of the better superhero movies I've seen in the last several years. So
Mhm.
The other director hasn't done a whole lot of
no,
which is unfortunate because I thought he did a really good job. He's done a lot of like horror stuff.
horror.
Yeah, like he was a director and producer for the Exorcist TV show.
Okay,
Um,
we watch that next.
no, that's okay.
Nah.
The Gambler. I've never heard of it. Turn Washington Spies. Never heard of it. Captive State looks like some horror type stuff. Maybe that's why the first movie was so good because it had like a horror.
Did it have
Ish.
horror?
I feel like it had some.
It had like a thrilling element to it.
Yeah, maybe that's a better word for it. Thriller. Yeah.
Thriller.
I just wish these movies were better.
I'm sorry for building it up. I thought these movies were better.
Well, I think the first two are.
I think they're solid.
I think
good,
objectively
solid, and then
Right. I still feel like I like the third one a lot, but objectively I agree with you guys on a lot of points.
I feel like if I watch this movie in a couple of months with a better mindset, I think
All right.
I would appreciate it a little bit more.
It sounded like you weren't in the right setting.
Yeah,
to watch.
definitely was not. Yeah. I like if I had a choice between watching any of the past Marvel movies in this movie, I would definitely pick this movie.
Okay.
So that's just me, but
Yeah, we don't care.
yeah. But besides, like Across the Spider-Verse,
Right.
yeah,
Withdrew from the project due to production and scheduling issues. That sucks.
yeah.
Any other thoughts?
I have none.
Closing.
I really have none. I just these had potential. I still think they have a lot of potential in them,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but
I feel like if they were to start doing remakes of the original ones with better CGI and maybe more like of a, because I think the first one is, I don't know how to describe it, but it has a message behind it. I forgot what the first one. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I've never.
But there's a message behind it. There's a powerful message, and I think if they redo it today, I think they could make it work. And if that first director came back and started his own trilogy, maybe that would be interesting to see a redo of the older Planet of the Apes, because I think the first one, from what I understand, is the best out of them, and then they are not so good after that.
Oh, because they're just maybe cash grab, just trying to
I think
throw out
that's
movies.
Yeah.
yeah, it
But
just
we'll
sucks
see.
when these original ideas. Well, I mean, this isn't really original. This series isn't really original, but I would say it's original.
It has a different spin to it. Yeah.
Like, it sucks when they just kind of fall short of their potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they did really good around Caesar's character,
Yeah.
but the plot going through these movies, at least quality-wise, was decreasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, every movie. I could say that now after we've re-rated it several times.
Right.
Every movie has progressively got lower.
Yeah.
Which sucks because the first movie was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I thought it had a trilogy we would all appreciate.
I mean, I feel
I
like
thought
I like this a lot
We got one good movie, half a good movie, and not a good movie. So that's pretty good.
For me, I think I got two really
Trilogies
good
are
movies.
hard.
Yeah.
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 I can't think of 5 trilogies that are like good to great. I think there's always one that falls short. Like X-Men 3, not good. You got Spider-Man 3, Back to the Future, I believe 2 or 3 is bad.
The
Ninja
Amazing
Turtles
Spider-Man
3,
never got their third one.
Oh, ouch.
yeah, that's true. But it will get a third one.
Yeah.
Godzilla, like I didn't like those. Like there's just a bunch that they start off good, or they have a second better sequel, and then the third one
You're
just
talking
falls
about
short.
Monster vs. Godzilla?
Yeah, Monster vs. Godzilla.
Mhm.
Yeah, like there's still potential there,
Right.
but I just think they are going in a direction that I don't really care to follow.
Yeah.
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 I'm holding. Nah, I shouldn't. I shouldn't hold out hope for the next one.
No, don't.
No, I shouldn't.
Then you're setting high expectations.
No, I'm not gonna do that to myself.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jugs and plugs. Like we knew exactly what we were doing.
Exactly.
There was no cut.
No. What cut are you What are you talking about?
My hat's still sitting the same way it was.
Oh.
I didn't flip it at all. Or did I? Jugs and
I'm drawing
plugs.
attention.
Subscribe to us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Like, share, comment. Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. Do all of the above. Let us know what you guys thought about the Planet of the Apes series
Yep.
and why it was a massive failure.
No, it's not.
Or what was your favorite of the trilogy?
And why is it a massive failure?
No, it's not.
I don't think it's a massive failure. I just think
It made a lot of money.
It made money, and
It was a massive failure to me. Okay.
that's the war in his
Okay,
mind.
okay. We're watching the first one then, the very first one.
I don't got that one yet. But
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, you
Never
don't know what
mind.
he's talking
My
about.
backup pick.
We'll watch the Mark.
There's
the
no
Mark
backup pick.
Wahlberg, Tim Burton one.
This has been the Legendary Sip Podcast. And join us next time for Spider-Man, the Raimi trilogy.
Yeah.
The whole trilogy.
Tobey
The
Maguire.
All three movies.
All 3 movies in one episode.
Yep.
I mean, I'll do it if you guys want to.
No.
Probably not.
No.
I probably wouldn't remember everything that. Fun fact: I've never seen the second one.
Never.
Never.
I mean, I like all 3.
I've only seen the first and the third.
I mean, we already established I like Tobey Maguire the most anyway, so
He's not Tom Holland.
That's a good thing.
Good thing. That's a
not a
good
good
thing.
thing.
That's a good thing.
He's not a grown man playing a high school.
I'm fine with that. It's 2000s. It happened all the time.
And if we don't end up doing Spider-Man, me and Jesse will probably be doing.
Just do 2 outros.
Okay.
I don't wait. Actually, I don't know because I have a week to edit it, right? So maybe 2 outros.
Okay. Fine. This has been the Legendary Sip Podcast, and join us next time for Hell's Paradise with just me and Jesse.
Yep.
Will this be the last sip that we ever do because we'll fight each other to death with no intermediate referee?
You think it's that bad?
No, I don't think so. No,
Oh.
I just think
1 versus 10.
I just think that Albert sometimes tames our.
Well,
our
if
ape
if
side.
that's the case, then you can sit in Albert's spot, and I'll sit. We'll be far enough
Or
apart.
if we hold hands when we do it, I heard psychology you can't fight as. Well, I mean we can fight pretty good right here,
Physically.
but
Maybe
some-
emotionally.
something about it. You holding hands.
I can see
I
it in
think
the
it-
comments now. The sexual tension between Jesse and John.
I think it's probably
What we could also do
what.
is we could sit on the same couch, but we have like a screen between us, so we can't see the other's reaction. We
You can't make eye contact.
can't make any eye contact
We're just sign language.
through the shadows.
We just have a
So
whiteboard.
What are you guys watching 2 weeks from now?
Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise.
And that's an anime?
Anime
Yeah.
Okay.
should have 13 episodes out.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know where it ends because I read all the manga though.
You don't know where it ends because you read
No,
all the manga.
I said that wrong. I don't know where it ends, but I've read all the manga.
Oh, okay.
Not
Will
because
this be the sip we fight over?
we fight over
Bye.
the last fight. The war for the Legendary Sip podcast.
The legendary war for the sip.